first quarter of the season already in the rear-view mirror, and off we go in Week 5 on EA Sports. And no run back on the opening kickoff. It'll come out to the 25. As they start on the ground, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Call it officially a loss of 2 on the first play from scrimmage. Second down.
Well, that's not an easy play for a defensive end because most of his responsibility has him getting upfield and working, but how about his vision to see where the play was going, crashed down inside, and tackled him for a loss.
First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's 2nd and 12. Here's Burrow. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. 3rd and 7 now.
He kept the receiver in the short field, but that let his quarterback get the ball quickly to him before either guy in double coverage could react.
A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. And that is incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play.
You got to punt that, bro.
And start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
The Bengals bring out their punter now. He'll kick it away after a 3 and out on the opening drive of the game. Returnable here for Davis. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And it'll be Charger football here as they take over. Herbert and the Chargers now with a 1st and 10 at their own 17-yard line. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this defense for the Bengals, they played extremely well last week in that win over Green Bay.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
Oh, man, for him to be that wide open and drop it. Sometimes you have just too much time on your hands, right? You end up thinking way too much, and your hands get shaky.
And yes, he's a tight end, but that's a catch he should have made. And he is going to have the Chargers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, that certainly has to feel good. It's not all the time that the play caller should get all the credit. Sometimes I think in the huddle, the quarterback just says, hey, who's going to make a play for me? I just need something right here. And the end result there, nice first down. Drive keeps moving.
Herbert setting up to throw on 1st down. And this one almost intercepted. Not a good throw there. Nearly an opening drive INT. The Chargers come in with 2 wins on the year, and they were looking good until last week's loss took them from the ranks of the unbeaten.
Yeah, I don't think anyone was expecting this team to push the 72 Dolphins, but still, you got to take a lot of positives from this first month. If they can bounce back and move to 3-1, they'll be pretty well set up for the remainder of the season to follow.
Another throw on 2nd down, and this one incomplete as well.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Back to throw here, Herbert. And he fires one that's intercepted. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, all right, because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
They will throw on first down with Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he's brought down here just outside of the 20. That's a staple of this offense. Drag route to the tight end.
Yeah, he was unable to use his size to break off much more yardage after the catch, but still an effective gain nonetheless.
To throw again on second down. Burrow. And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he's brought down inside the 20 at the 18-yard line.
Oh, it's time to give more credit there to the defense. They played that very well because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line, but once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
How about this defense? They came up with a couple big plays in this sequence, and none better than the one right there, forcing the incompletion and bringing up fourth down.
Fourth down. Here's Joe Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is going to have the Bengals first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. To the air again, Burrow. And a loose football. And picked up by the Chargers. And now off to the races, down the right side. 20. And he takes it back to the house. It's a fumble recovery and a Charger touchdown. Backbreaker, that'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And the decision to bring it out, not a good one, as he's tackled at the 15. The Bengals drive about to get going. It's their third drive now, and so far we've seen a punt. In that second drive, CD, they turned the ball over, so not the start that they were envisioning.
Yeah, they've been ineffective so far, but look, they've worked on a game plan all week long. Don't get away from it too soon. Find a way to get some significant gains, loosen up, get going, and then they should be okay the rest of the way.
Short completion, just 4 yards, and that will bring up second down. Burrow will throw. Looking deep downfield. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Kelvin Joseph. And the Chargers are going to get the football here at their own 40-yard line. Before we came up to the booth, the last thing he said as we were walking off the field, want to play mistake-free football. Well, that just went out the window there with a pick.
And do you remember what you said to me when we were walking up to the booth after he said that? You're like, oh, fatal last words. Every time we hear that, things tend to fall apart a little bit, and that's what we saw there. Didn't get enough on that throw, and it turned into an interception.
Charger football to start quarter number 2, as they've got it with second down and less than a yard. movement up front. I think they're going to get one of the Charger linemen. Ooh, moving from his tight end spot there.
Do you think that perhaps the play call was for him?
So not quite a first down just yet as they come up on second and less than a yard. Now it's Herbert. Swinging this out for Pollard. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line.
And I like the idea here. Get the ball in his hands, even if it's in the passing game. 3 catches a week ago, and he does a nice job here to pick up yardage.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down. Herbert off of play action. Oh, hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Partner, what we're seeing so far is the defense is certainly coordinated. Both levels doing their jobs in tandem. The back helping the front helping the back. The pressure got home on that last play and forced him to try and throw through contact and short of the sticks.
Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Now he's hit on the return. It's a loose football. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he coughs it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception. San Francisco runs it back. Game is salted away. Fumbles on the return. Atlanta gets it back, drives down, kicks the game-winning field goal.
How about that? And a crazy situation we just saw there. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Out of the gun, Herbert. And he comes back with one complete. And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
And that's a more than acceptable read right there because it's zone coverage, so timing is everything. This time he waits for his man to come open, puts it right on him, and they pick up a first down.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards.
Exactly what they needed right there because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Now we're 1st and 10 at the 11. Now Herbert with it, looking to pass. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bengals will take over here at their own 12-yard line.
And as we've seen, points have been precious so far, and they just threw some away on that snap. And look, let's face it, as we advance further into this game, that play will be on the minds of everyone who's watching it. They wonder if this is the turning point. Is this the spot where those points are given away and could cost them a ball game?
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. Picked off by the linebacker, Eric Kendricks. And the Chargers are going to take possession of the football. That's now a 2nd interception in as many weeks from his linebacker position.
And think about all the different techniques he has to employ in a passing situation. Is he spot dropping because it's zone? Is he picking up man-to-man? Is he having to run with a running back or a tight end?
And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And the Bengals grab it. And a great return as he's up close to the 40-yard line. And they had just picked it off to get the football. They fumble it right back. They looked over at both sidelines. A lot of scrambling to find the helmets.
Yeah, you can almost, I mean, you know both sides are screaming sudden change. Because when sudden change happens, that's a defensive call to get back out on the field. There's been a fumble, so an interception type of a turnover. You've got to get back out there and play. These guys just want to get to the bench and gather themselves and regroup a little bit. Let's see if these offenses can settle in and start taking care of the ball a little bit better.
He took a shot there, but boy, was that ill-advised from my viewpoint. Coverage was awfully tight. How did he get away with that one not being picked off?
To throw again on 2nd down. Burrow. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. Catch number 4 for him on the afternoon, and it'll give him a first down. Here we go. They're passing here. Joe Burrow dumps it off to Mixon. And the tackle going to be made at the 38.
I like the play design there. They occupied the defense downfield, everyone trying to account for someone. But unfortunately, they didn't account for the running back slipping out of the backfield, and he was absolutely unnoticed and wound up getting big yards on that play.
He's going to wind up and air it out. And Alberto going to be intercepted yet again. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers will have the football as this is taken out past the 30. A nightmare of a first half for him. That's now 3 interceptions. But Charles, with his talent, if anyone can shape this off and right the ship, it's him.
I agree, because you don't get to be one of the best quarterbacks in the league without developing some major mental toughness. So I expect him to go in the locker room at halftime, hit the reset button, and come out a new guy in half number 2.
Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. 2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. Ball at the 33, 2nd and 9. Play action. It's Herbert. Looking middle, and that's complete. The Chargers going to signal for the first of their timeouts. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. A shotgun snap for Herbert. Over the middle, it's complete. And they'll get him down on the other side of midfield.
Nothing fancy on first down, but a very consistent type of a play. Hit that slant. A lot of people call it an extension of the running game, and it can be if that pass is completed, because you hit a guy on the run like that, you often can go for big yardage.
Sets him up nicely for second down, staying ahead of schedule. Herbert's throw going into the hands of Williams. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 30. A good pickup there of 20 yards. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Herbert now. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Daxton Hill picks it off. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football.
Definitely not the ideal time to see that mistake, partner, because this is still a one-possession game, and that's at least a field goal that just vanished with that turnover. Now, pressure's on defensively to prevent that pick from turning into points for the other side.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And he's got it. Touchdown, Bengals. Jamar Chase as the first half is winding down. And the Bengals have a chance to tie the game here in the final seconds of the half. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. Taken in at the 3. And he won't get this to the 20-yard line as he's down at the 19. The Charger drive about to get going. And with 8 seconds on the clock, really not a lot of time to try to put anything together. And they'll indeed start on the ground to run that clock. And he'll just burrow his way back to the line of scrimmage, and that's about it. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Officially nothing on that last run. They'll try again 2nd and 10. Incomplete. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. So thanks to the late touchdown, it's a tie ball game here heading to break. As we send you to Orlando to check in with Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach? And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. Set and ready to go for the second half. One touchdown apiece, 7-7 our score. A fairly short kick from the 14.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic, no need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
Now the stop made by Cam Taylor-Britt.
I know we can't hear what's going on in that huddle right now, but I'll guarantee you at least one offensive lineman is saying, my bad, we simply couldn't move them off the line of scrimmage. We've got to do a better job trying to root those guys out of there.
And my goodness, another interception. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. I think you and I were a little surprised back earlier in the game when he threw his second interception. I mean, who would have thought a quarterback of his caliber picked now 5 times?
It's beyond stunning to me because we're used to that with maybe a quarterback with less experience or less talent. But a quarterback of his caliber, I can't believe what we've just seen.
Absolutely. If you would have told me this coming into the ball game, I would have said never, not in a million years. But here we go. Burrow's throw taken in here by Chase. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes and they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. There's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. To the goal line, but it's incomplete.
Well, he leads the NFL in interceptions and nearly added to that total.
Got his hand on it, couldn't quite corral it. It's been a Pro Bowl-type season for him, and the term ball hawk really comes into play, doesn't it?
Yeah, I like that one a lot because teams want to avoid that type of a player, but sometimes you just can't. He just knows where the ball is.
And they get to him quickly here as he's stopped right around the 13. They do get a yard there, but only a yard. Leaves him with 3rd and 9 looming. Now it's Burrow. And this is going to be intercepted. Picked up by J.C. Jackson. And the Chargers are going to get the football here as the ball will come out to the 20. Well, they were in a great position to take the lead, Charles. Obviously, all they needed was a field goal to do that. They wanted the touchdown. Unfortunately, they're going to get neither.
And you know every offense talks about the same thing each week, don't they, Brandon? They want to end every drive with a kick, whether it's a field goal attempt, a point after the touchdown, or at worst, a punt. This time they had that opportunity but didn't get it because you know the field shrinks that close to the end zone, and that allows the defense to tighten up their coverage, and they picked that one off. Well, that was a fun one to watch right there. A nice in-breaking route and plenty of room in the middle of the field, and he was able to get behind the linebackers and grab the completion for a really good pickup.
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Here's Herbert. He's got his man. That's Everett, the tight end. And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped. He got 29 yards that time. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 39-yard line. Justin Herbert looking to pass. And now here is another interception. gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. Then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And that is caught. He's got it for a Bengal touchdown. A sensational one-handed grab in the end zone for the score. Looked like you at the Davis Turkey Bowl every year in the backyard in Orlando, Florida.
Oh, you're so kind. That's definitely in my mind. But how about this? They always tell guys going after the ball, the receivers especially, you got to have a single-minded obsession to go get it. How about going up with a single hand? What we just saw there.
Fields this way up at the 17.
The Chargers take over first and 10 at their own 25.
The Charger drive about to get going. As this offense takes the field against CD, remember last drive they were moving the football, but then they threw.
That goes from losing the battle to making a huge play and stealing the momentum. So you know they're riding high right now, and they're ready to challenge this offense and that quarterback one more time.
We'll see if the offense is up for that challenge here as things start to get more interesting here in the second half. 56 yards rushing for him now to this point.
So much of the game today, we're looking for hybrid players, guys who can do a combination of jobs. And anyone who plays a strong safety position, now more than ever, is a hybrid-type player. Half defensive back that covers passes and half linebacker that makes tackles. We just saw the linebacker make that play.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2. Herbert. And that will be incomplete. Well, we've talked about it, CD, but it bears repeating. They are struggling to throw the football. All the interceptions and more incompletions. It just doesn't look like things are in sync out there.
I would agree with that, and it's not a good day when you feel like an incomplete pass is almost a win for you because it wasn't intercepted. And I think the receivers now, when they're running their routes, they want to catch the ball, but they also want to make sure that the defenders don't take it away.
Here we go on 4th. Herbert. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. Well, he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A gain of 26 and a conversion there as well on 4th down.
I remember pregame when we were talking to him on the field, and he took his gloves off and showed us his fingers. A few misshapen ones in there, and now we know why, trying to catch those types of bullets.
That was a dart. Yeah, even for a talented receiver, those are tough to hang on to. Now, quick throw there going to be batted away and incomplete.
They had their backs up against the wall a little bit, and they come through by forcing an incompletion. Now they've got to continue to ratchet up the intensity a couple of more times and get off the field before giving up any more yardage.
3rd quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Here's Herbert. And my goodness, another interception. And the Bengals are going to get it back here just shy of the 20. The number 7 usually lucky here. Enough for him. 7 picks he's thrown in this game. That's only happened 6 times since 1960.
And I know that the most recent time it happened, the guy who threw him, he won a Heisman Trophy in college, so sometimes you just have a lousy game. Doesn't necessarily mean it's a bad career, but when you're talking about one game, 7, you're right, not lucky at all.
Yeah, Ty Detmer, the last to do it in 2001, to throw 7 picks.
On 1, right?
From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. Out of the gun, it's Burrow. He'll fire this deep for Ayuk. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
As his old brain remembers, when I see 5 wide receivers on the field as a defender, I know the ball's coming out hot. They expected it and got there and popped it free.
On one, ready?
Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. That ball caught. Brandon Ayuk. And he's brought to the ground with another first down at the Chargers' 41-yard line. A very solid gain of 27.
And these guys certainly are not hiding what their intention is. They're absolutely showing it. They're definitely not going to sit on this lead here in the fourth quarter.
11, Thomas.
First down. Here's Burrow. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
So it looks like they stopped some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the
Throwing again, it's Burrow. Chargers able to get the pressure and bring him down. So that'll leave Burrow and the Bengals with a 3rd and long after that sack we just saw. He'll drop to throw. He's going to let this one go deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
There's a reason the number 4 was flashing through my mind when he let that one go. 3 touchdowns already in his back pocket. The deep ball's been a great weapon for him in this one. Unfortunately, empty on that attempt.
They'll try and throw forward with Burrow. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase with his 2nd touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Bengals are closing in on a 3rd straight win as they widen the gap further here in the 4th quarter. McPherson now for the extra point. It's good, and it is now 21-7.
Makes the score Bengals 21, Chargers 7. Evan McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23.
At their own 23-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily when you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. And he'll be tackled on the other side of midfield at the 46-yard line. So they'll come up in Bengals territory now with a 1st and 10 at the 46. And now here is another interception. And the Bengals are going to get the football here at their own 23. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
Eight. The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
Ty Detmer. He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8, are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
Here we go.
I don't know. It has not been good. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Burrow. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete.
Well, they approached this drive with a lot of confidence after the last one ended up as a touchdown. But incompletions on their first 2 throws has them huddling up and trying to figure out a big play here on 3rd down to get their momentum going again.
This is caught at the 20. And he's going to be brought down at about the 16. If there was one knock on Joe Burrow coming out of LSU, it was arm strength, but kind of put those doubts to rest right there. From the red zone now, here's Burrow, first down. Touchdown, Bengals. A great play there. His fourth touchdown on the year. And the Bengals have pretty well put it away here in the fourth quarter. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21.
Chargers 7. Evan McPherson, the kickoff for Cincinnati.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. From way up at the 23. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape up past the 30. The Charger drive about to get going. Where we stand right now in the fourth quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time, Matt?
And it'll be intercepted. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 16-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here, maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense.
He's got a man complete. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Jamar Chase, 84 yards. And the Bengals have opened up a 4-touchdown lead here in the fourth. Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And that'll increase their lead to 28.
Chargers 7.
After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. A fairly short kick from the 14. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28.
At their own 28-yard line.
The Charger drive about to get going. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. Had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted.
Puts it on the carpet, it's out, and the Bengals grab it. And his guys will take over at their own 44-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. Good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 44. Now it looks like he'll throw here. They'll roll him out right. Now he'll let it go deep right side. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, this is exactly where I expect teams to take a shot. Right after a turnover, you count on the defense being a little bit jumbled coming out on the field, maybe catch them back on their heels, and that's exactly what they did there. They threw it downfield and really created a big play.
Yeah, you said jumbled. They were the definition of jumbled defensively. One play and into the end zone. Taken at the 15, a short kick. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Charger drive about to get going. Well, CD, it's all window dressing at this point. I mean, the best they can do is end the game with a nice drive to maybe build some momentum to move forward. And my goodness, another interception. Jonathan Abram picks it. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. But with this advantage, this defense knew that passes were coming, and they stayed in position, Charles, and picked one off here in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, what a way to cap things off, Bob, because I think this is part of the game within the game. They see this.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's enough.